So now we've given you a basis and we've watched you take it in. So now where are you? What do you want to introduce into the conversation now?
That I previously felt that I was attracting more, and maybe kind of, you said some people like the drama of it and they don't want to go a softer way sometimes.
Before you say more about that, we want to soothe it within you before you compound it more in yourself. What that is about is when energy moves, it feels like power, whether it's moving towards something you want or towards something you don't want. And most humans like the feeling of productivity. So you like the idea of things in motion. That's why when we say freedom and growth and joy, you usually say yes, growth, growth, growth. And we say freedom and growth and joy, and you say yes, growth, 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 because it feels like you're making something happen. You're going to wrestle it to the ground and kill it. And so that's all that is. In an action-oriented world, which we're trying to guide you away from being so much action-oriented, in an action-oriented world, if there's a tug of war, you want to line up and pull against your opposition. But in a vibrational world, which is really what this world is about, that's not working out very well.
I was mistaking thinking that I liked and was setting up the drama of it rather than not tuning into what you're saying and practicing the momentum of positive.
But don't be hard on yourself, because sometimes in messing around in the drama of something, you're launching more rockets of desire. That's where your expansion is coming from. So that's why step 5 is such an important step. Don't be mad at yourself when you're being more dramatic than you need to be, or when you're amplifying something that you don't want, because you are launching more rockets. But after a while, you have to come to the awareness, I got enough rockets launched over here to keep myself busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. Maybe it's time for me to give up the battle and just start allowing the goodness that I've gathered to occur to me. And we want to put something else in this conversation, because this is an important thing to understand. So you have the sense of this vortex, and we have helped you to feel the logic of it gathering and progressing and becoming more. And for a while, we wrote a book called Getting Into the Vortex, because we wanted you to realize that here is all this wonderful stuff, but you got to get in there where it is in order to experience it. Well, recently, we're saying that in a slightly different way. We're saying your vortex exists with everything that you want. You've put the pieces of it in, and it has culminated into something that you can't even identify or see. You put the pieces in so incrementally, you have no idea the magnificent life you have built for yourself. When you're feeling good, for no good reason other than that you want to, when you're feeling good and you're in the receptive mode, that's when ideas occur to you. That's when you begin the conscious experience of turning those non-physical vibrations and thoughts to things. So everything that you're about, we want you to just focus on, am I in the receptive mode of my vortex, or am I in the receptive mode of something else? You're always in the receptive mode. It's like you can tune your radio tuner to anything that you want, and some of it pleases you and some of it doesn't. You've got your control of where you set your tuner. So if we can convince you that it is as simple as wanting to feel good, because everything you want will occur to you and the journey will unfold, and it'll be a delicious journey as it unfolds, after a while you just reach the place where there's just no good reason to stay very long in a negative place, because you have these tools. You can meditate. That stops thought, therefore that stops momentum. You can take a nap. That stops thought, therefore that stops momentum. You can get a good night's sleep, even better. That stops thought, therefore that stops momentum. You can make lists of positive aspects. You can amplify when you do feel good. You can get out ahead of it. You can increase the momentum of things that feel good. So it just gets easier and easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it sounds good, but now what?
It just also, sometimes the more aware of it you are, it's easier to hop into the other vortex sometimes, the one that's not.
But why is that? Simply because there's more momentum going.
Right.
Did that momentum about that unwanted thing have any power in my experience before I turned my attention to it? No. It doesn't matter how big, bad, and awful it was. If it's not in your active attention right now, it's not part of the game. It's not part of the attraction process right here and now. This conversation may help you to want to be more deliberate in your thought. We also want it to help you be less hard on yourself when momentum sweeps you away. We also want it to make you feel more eager to get the other momentum going so that it is the dominant momentum within you. We want to ask you a series of questions, and they're easy questions, so just answer them with the first thought that comes to you. It's going to be an either or. So, is your desire, your overall desire, to be happy or sad?
Happy.
Do you think that the momentum of your life is more about happiness or sadness?
It's shifting.
Do you think that your intention is to be nice or mean?
Nice.
Do you think that you laugh more or cry more?
Laugh.
Do you feel more happiness about the world around you or anger about the world around you? It's all right. As you step back and look at the world from a further back standpoint, do you feel happier about it or angry about it?
Happier.
Is there something in your life that's easier to be mad about than happy about?
Yes.
Are you sort of getting what we're getting at?
Yes.
We just want to say to you that your momentum is positive, not negative. Your momentum is joyful, not mean or angry or sad. The true momentum of who you are. And we're not even talking about the source energy part of you, which makes it no contest whatsoever. If we add your inner being to the equation, then none of these questions would have ever even been viable at all. Because the dominance of who you are is someone who is blessed and worthy and knows it and is loving. But we're just talking about you in your physical personality. Your momentum is positive momentum, predominantly positive momentum. And of course, you're going to have a step one moment every now and again where it doesn't feel so much that way. And of course, you can get all tangled up in something and pushing against it so that day after day after day it sort of feels that way. But don't let those illusions of your disconnection convince you that that's who you are, because that is not who you are, you see. So this possibility or probability or certainty of you getting this positive momentum going, it's absolute. You just got to know what to do, and you do. And the thing that we want most of all, we want you to stop proclaiming yourself as not good at this. It's like if you see a child trying to learn something, trying to learn to walk, little, falls down. You don't say, "Get up, you little dummy." That's sort of what you're saying to yourself. Oh, I've got this negative momentum going. We say, so what? All momentum is temporary because it's momentum that is only encouraged by your attention to it. Easier now, isn't it? Now you just have to practice it, but most of all, don't be hard on yourself when you're not doing so well at it. There are some things in your life experience that just feel bigger, and there's momentum that attracts your negative attention about them, but they will dissolve by your lack of attention in time. So does it feel to you that while you are the creator of your own experience, we know you accept that, does it feel to you that others around you have more of an impact than you would like them to?
Yes.
So that's the part that we want you to work on. We want you to start paying attention to how you feel and what happens next. It's such an interesting thing to get in the receptive mode and know you're there, and then watch the events that play out immediately. Or be not in the receptive mode of what feels good, but being in the receptive mode of what feels bad, and watch the events that play out. We've been saying for a long time, there are two ways to know what you're doing vibrationally. One is how it feels really good, feels not really good. And the other is by how it plays out. So just let life show you, not just what you've got going on vibrationally. Let life show you that you have control of what you've got going on vibrationally. Let life show you that you can control outcomes because you can control the way you're looking at it. But you got to go general usually, because when you get into the specifics of things that are bothering you, those specifics already have quite a bit of momentum going. So be really general if it doesn't feel good, and be really specific if it feels good, and watch what happens. Do you follow all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something else you want to say?
No, I just really was struggling with beating myself up, thinking I couldn't get past a plateau of that.
Yes. And so feel the momentum that you add to when you say those words. So now what words could you say? In other words, that's true, but would you like to say it in a more positive momentum way now? It's going to be easier now. I understand it more fully. I see what I've been doing.
I'm more clear about how I've been using it in a different way, and I'm more clear about now how to contrast that into how I can build momentum in a positive way. It was unclear about how much I was doing that myself and how much control I do have in either way.
And I like feeling good, and I want to feel good, and I often feel good, and it's easy in some situations to feel good, and I like feeling good, and feeling good is important, and I can see the power of feeling good, and I can step back from what doesn't feel good, and it's easy to feel good, and I'm getting better at this all the time, and feeling good feels so good, and I really like to feel good, and I love feeling good, and I like good feeling things coming to me, and I like to feel good, and there's so much to feel good about, and I really like to feel good. I like so much to feel good. It just feels really good to feel good, and I like to feel good. I don't like to feel bad, but I really, 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 really like to feel good. I like to feel good, and I like to feel sure, and I like clarity so much. I don't like confusion much, but I like clarity so much, and I like the feeling of empowerment. I like the idea of tapping into the leverage of the universe, and I like tapping in with my inner being who really cares about me, knows what I want, and I really like feeling good. And I like relief, and I like progress, and I like success, but I really, really like feeling good. And there's so many things to feel good about, and I like feeling good. I really, really like feeling good. I really do. I just like feeling good. I so like feeling good. And when I first wake up in the morning, I feel the best that I ever feel, and I like feeling good. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to feel good even longer, and the next day even longer, because I so like feeling good. And I'm not worried about stepping back into feeling bad, because I so like feeling good. I so like feeling good, and it's easier and easier to feel good. I just really, really, really like feeling good. I so like feeling good. And once you get that going like that, where you're saying it and meaning it, even to the point of ridiculousness, Esther and friends, sometimes they'll get on a rant where they will be appreciating something so much, and anybody else that's looking in would think they are just a crazy group of people, because over and over again they're just saying the same happy things about the same stupid things. In other words, they're just determined to feel good. They compliment each other, and they laugh at everybody's joke, and everybody's tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and everybody's got the punchline right there. And sometimes they set each other up for the fun, and sometimes they deliver the fun, but it's just fun, 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 fun. And they just talk about it and talk about it, talk about it ad nauseum to anybody that's not up to speed with it. But that's how you get your momentum going. I so like feeling good. Life is so beautiful. Look at this beautiful day. Ooh, traffic is so good for me today. I love my car. Ooh, I love listening to this song. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? I really like that. Ooh, he said that to me. She said that to me. That felt so good. You can get on a rampage. That's what momentum is. You can change the momentum, and it doesn't take much to do it. And when you do, every subject in your life has to adhere to the new receptive mode that you are in, so that things that have formerly been sucky either disappear from your experience, or they improve because your vibrational vantage point has changed, you see.
Yeah.
Really good. Enough?
Yeah.